Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Martin. Welcome to video number 4 of aiming to do 100 consecutive days of terrible videos until one actually becomes good. This concept of apparently you have to get 100 videos done and out of the way before you are any good at doing them. And I've just been bouldering today, so I discovered bouldering about a year ago. Wanted to try something new, something which I have always kind of wanted to do and never tried, and something that I was kind of drawn to as a kid. So for those of you who have heard me yabbering on before, obviously I talk about Joseph Campbell a lot on the hero's journey, and he speaks about the importance which captures the imagination, and also looking back of what were those things which he loved to do as a kid. Because chances are there's still a very kid-like part of you that will connect you to the world of magic and wonder and all these fantastic things if you get to do them now. So I thought, let's get this one for the inner child and let's start bouldering. And it is really, really good. It ticks the boxes of a little bit of fear because you don't want to fall, even though if you fall onto a mat, it's not going to be terrible, but you still really, really don't want to fall. And there's a great learning curve to it. Having said that, I did actually have a bad fall, and I've been struggling with sciatica for the last 6 months. So you do still need to be aware that things can happen regardless of the surface that you're landing upon. But I love the parallels in bouldering with martial arts. So I really like finding common themes in things, something which you've discovered in one world and in someone else's world, there's like, oh yeah, that's a similar concept. And once again, as the great Miyamoto Musashi says, once you see the way, you see it in all things. Once you understand the way, you see it in all things. I love the age that we're in now, where we have these long form podcasts that we get to listen to of people in very different fields, but with very, very similar opinions. Really good example was when Jordan Peterson was on the Jocko Willink podcast. Two very, very different people, but that have come to a lot of the very, very same kind of realizations. So I like that. I like that theme. I like having discussions with people that have looked to master something else and is similar. For me, obviously, I always pull it back to martial arts because that's sort of the thing I've always looked to master, I guess, over 40 years. But when I started bouldering, and this is a concept I want to talk about, I always like a theme of the day which I look to follow. So my instructor, Stuart, who is a fantastic climber, I mean, he's in his 50s, still a fine head of hair, not a single grey hair on his head. He's obviously had this wonderful life, really, really enjoying going out and bouldering. And he made an observation of my climbing, which stuck with me. I thought, what a brilliant concept. And he would say, sometimes, Martin, you are struggling on a boulder and you've struggled with it before, and you get to a certain point and you're holding on to this point, and then you start waiting for something better to come along. And the reality is, this is what you've got. Nothing better is coming along, so make your move and go for it. And I was like, oh wow, I've been teaching that for years in martial arts. What are the things? And I thought, what are the things which I do, and it's not perfect, but I'm waiting for something better to come along before I actually start it. And I would encourage you all to try and think the same. Like, what a great concept. What's funny I've been thinking for a long, long time of actually starting and doing some kind of set of videos about my experiences, and I would have all kinds of things that would stop me. The cynical voice saying, who are you to talk about this kind of stuff? And I would look for a different angle or something, or like a better way of doing it before starting. And the truth is that actually there isn't a better hold coming along. This is the one you've got, so you may as well make your move and go for it, which is why I've started doing these videos. And I think it's only going to make sense through the failure of a lot of these videos, because all of that is information. It's all things which are going to transform and make me look at stuff in a deeper way. And I also figured out that I've always done really well when I'm trying to explain something. I found that definitely my martial arts improved once I started coaching and being a martial art instructor, because I needed to find different ways of explaining the same thing. So, you always know if you've got a concept really, really well down if you can explain it simply, if it makes sense and you're able to break it down into something which someone else can understand. And it's that saying, I explained it once, they didn't understand. I explained it twice, they didn't understand. I explained it a third time, I understood. Really, really simple concept, but that idea of the more you struggle to try and explain something, the more you are trying to take that information down on a deeper level and looking at something in a way that perhaps you hadn't if you explained it to someone else. Interesting kind of stuff, I guess. But anyway, this concept, which I'm gonna take into the weekend with me, of what are the things that I do in my life where I'm waiting for a better hold to come along before I launch, and can I, as a kind of go forward concept, make the decision that I'm going to choose in those moments that there's not a better hold, I may as well do it, and the degree of failure that I experience trying to do it is informative. It's going to give me things which I need to know, to understand, to move forwards as a person. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Really encourage you to try bouldering, or whatever it is that were in your kind of like childlike things which you actually really, really wanted to do. Just start it. Yeah, just go. Start that thing. It's really, really good to do. Have a great Friday, everyone. See you soon.